Hi, yeah, it's Jackie here from the LGFA, and we're on a Zoom call today, and we've got a very special show for you. We have two now retired intercounty players, sadly, from our point of view, sadly, because we won't get to see them grace our playing fields in the year to come, and indeed in the years to come. But I'm very, very pleased to be joined by Samantha Lambert from Tipperary, top left-hand side of my screen, and down the bottom, Aisling Doonan Maguire from Cavan. Ladies, how are you?
Good now, Jenny.
We were just chatting before we started recording, Ashing, about the feedback and that's since you announced your retirement. I mean, look, you didn't exactly announce it, right? I mean, we got wind that
Yeah.
you had planned to retire, and being the modest person that you are, you didn't want too much fuss about it. But we felt, given the career that you've had, that you deserved a fuss. So, look, you've had one.
I have, right. I've had a good week of it, all right. I know it is nice to see, like, look at, I'm not one to be making a fuss of that, but as I was saying beforehand, like, it just shows you how much things have come on, like, in the last number of years when someone retires, like, you know, it was a big shock to me, and I'm sure it was the same to Samantha, the reaction I got from, the papers, and you had the radio on, and then even just all the past players and managers and people that you've been involved with from underage and the different levels getting in touch, which was really nice. So it was a shock to the system, all right, getting all these messages, but it was nice as well to look back and have a laugh with some of the people as well about different memories about the years.
Who's been in touch since, Ashling? Former teammates, players from other counties.
Yeah, former teammates and then players from other counties and some of the girls who would have been on maybe the All Star tours and college girls. Like there was a broad, even some of the past management teams like that I wouldn't have been talking to like in years, but just pick up the phone, have a good conversation with them. So I think that was nice. And then even just obviously people locally like your club and even all the different males like coming on and saying, even some of the men footballers and I was getting some lovely messages from them, which was lovely for them to kind of just think and to mark the occasion as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Really, really nice. And there's a lovely piece with you in the Anglo Celt. And if you're looking at this on Facebook, we'll link it below the post and also on YouTube. Samantha Lambert, two-time All-Ireland winning captain, of course, with Tipperary at intermediate level 2017 and 2019. Samantha, how has it been since you made your exit stage left from the intercounty scene? What's the reaction been like? You got the back page of the local nationalist this week, you were telling me.
Ah, sure, yeah. I know, as like Aisling said there, like it's great to get such support and messages and kind words sent you, and I suppose I appreciate it all. It doesn't make it any easier, really, but it is nice to receive the messages and like Aisling said, from people all over the county, and outside the county as well, like past players that you played with in college and different things. So like it's been great, like and. It doesn't make it any easier though, I suppose. It's kind of bringing back different memories and that, but I know, as I said, I appreciate it all, and it's great to get them.
Samantha, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. I mean, probably the last game that you played, I think you referenced it there recently, that you were quite emotional, that you knew did you know at that time that it might be the last time you'd share a dressing room with all of those girls in I think it was the Monaghan game in the All Ireland Championship.
Yeah, it was a Monaghan game. Yeah, I had a fair idea. Look, I was kind of thinking of it last year, like John was 17, were due to get married in May, and I suppose I thought about yeah, I suppose retiring after the Monaghan game, and I said calmed in the emotions, I suppose, after the Monaghan game, but I did say an old speech in the dressing room after that game, like that kind of did send out a message that what probably was my last game. And poor Sarah Jane on the way home from Dublin, she didn't know what was wrong with me because I couldn't stop crying the whole way home. She's like, it wasn't an All Ireland final or anything like that. Like, no, calm down. That game meant a lot to me, and I suppose maybe no one else noticed it, but I kind of knew in the back of my head it could be. So, yeah, I was very upset after that game, knowing that this could be my last time sharing the dressing room with such a special bunch of girls like that I had so much time for, and I still do have so much time for. So, it was hard. Like, I obviously didn't make any. Try to put it um at the back of my head the whole time, you know, but eventually came to the kind of time, I suppose, that the girls were going back training there last week, and it was kind of getting to me kind of whether I'd go back or not. And I just sat down with Dad and I just said, we kind of just thought it out and saw what was best for me, I suppose. And we just felt that it was the right time. And yeah, so I just kind of made a decision, but like it wasn't a decision kind of made there in the last week or so. But you know, it's something that I've been thinking about, as you said, since the Monaghan game. And I just needed to make that decision because it was wrecking my head, and it wasn't doing any good for me either, like, you know. So I was better off just making the decision, kind of getting it out there. But actually what I found the hardest, I don't know, was actually saying it out loud, like, you know, that I was kind of retiring, like, and I still find it hard to say it. But like, you know, it was actually coming to the point that it was actually, Jesus, if I say this, like, it's actually official, like, you know. And I go back to Dad again, I'd be like, what do you think, like, you know. But I know, like, you know, I suppose in one way it's a small bit of relief, like, you know, that if decision is made, like, as it was kind of getting to me at times, like, you know. And I just wanted to kind of not get it over and done with, because obviously it took a lot of time to see what I would do. But yeah, no, it just felt that the time was right for me. And look, there's plenty of them there behind me to keep showing the road, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But you've had an absolutely brilliant career, Samantha. Aisling, how was it for you coming to this that decision? I mean, look, I'm very fortunate to know you in a working capacity from our time in the office as well, and I could understand, you know, the commute at the time, and it was tough going, and you had other commitments as well outside of football, and then last year played a bit of football. Injury maybe affected you then as well. I mean, did you have to weigh so many things up as well, Ashton, before you came to this tough decision?
Yeah, like, I actually, I suppose some of the girls would be laughing. I probably had been threatening retiring over the last couple of years, but sure, I kept coming back anyway. No, it actually was quite an easy one for me to make this year. I kind of had said it even at the start of last year. I was really looking forward to it because I probably had been home just over a year, had been doing a lot of training, and I got a lot of pre-season in for a change. So I was raring to go last year, and then obviously with COVID and everything hit. And well, at the time as well, it was good. We got to play club football, which is probably the first time I've properly got to play at my club, between, you know, living in Dublin, working away from home, and then with training, clash and county and club. We rarely got to train with our club. Like, you'd be playing, like, come championship, yes, you'd be released to go train with your club. So I really enjoyed that, being back at the club. And honestly, like, because I've been playing football counties since I was 15, like, I hadn't really been around the club. So, like, obviously I have been around the club, but, like, you know, been really able to train fully 3 nights a week, and then maybe getting a gym session in with the girls as well, which was great. And then I got the bad injury, of course, in August. And in fairness, I've been very lucky. I've never been injured, but I ended up having to get surgery did a good job on my ankle. I had to get a wire in my ankle, and then I strained my ACL and another ligament. Now, to be fair, I came back, and I was back running within like 12 weeks, which was unbelievable. Like, and that was down thanks to the guys in the county, the Michael Lee, the physio, and the strength and conditioning coach, like, really helped me a lot. So I had come back. So I think COVID actually and the injury probably gave me a little bit of time to reflect and kind of say, okay, God, you've been doing this for so long. Now all of a sudden you kind of have this break, and you kind of other things, and you start putting things into perspective, I think. So in that sense, and I'd say there's a lot of players, like, I know I had been talking to a couple of, like, older players as well, like, God, how did you know when was the right time, I think. But, and actually, as Samantha says, saying it out loud, going, yeah, I think this, you might say it in your head, or you might say it to someone close to you, but actually saying it out is quite tough. But like, I was content with my decision. So even when I said to some of the girls and they were trying to change their mind, I was like, no, I'm happy. I'm fine with that. And they knew straight away that you know, there was no change in my mind. So, and they were happy for me as well, because I'd given so much to, I suppose, the jersey and the girls. So I was slightly different to Samantha. Like, I'm quite happy of where I am, and having done as much as I can with the girls. And exactly what she says, there's such a talented bunch coming behind, and not even just skillful wise, but leaders there as well, that, you know, don't need that wise head kind of floating at the back there anymore.
Stop you, the massive experience as well. Ash, you've seen a lot and been through a lot. Samantha, you kind of talk about the maybe that bit of fear about actually saying it out loud, but then once you've made the decision, there's such relief after. There's such a contrast of emotions there when you're trying to weigh everything up. But I met you out for a walk recently. And in fairness to you, I was out with one of my usual walks. Aisling is down by towards the Swiss Cottage in Care. Lovely place. If post COVID, come down for a visit. It's really, really nice. And we just got chatting briefly, Samantha, because I think I'd met you the previous day and I was on the phone. So I said, right, we'll stop up and have a quick chat. And I did say, we got chatting and I was there, are you coming back? And I was only flippantly asking, I was sure you were going to come back, but obviously you weren't. And you said it straight up that day that, probably not. And then you make the decision, you announce it, and then Jerome Quinn obviously has a vault of stuff there. So we saw the Doonan dummy, which went absolutely viral there last week, Aisling, which was fantastic stuff. And there was a piece then with your good self, Samantha. I think it was after the 2017 final and the absolute relief and elation. But you repeated that in 2019. So after all that chat, I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyway, 2017 or 2019, Aisling, I mean, which was the one that you look back on with the most fondness, or were they both equally special in their own rights?
That me or Aisling?
Samantha, I guess.
Samantha, that's one's view. Sorry, yeah.
They're equally special, I suppose. They all had they were both sense of relief, more so, I suppose, as well as joy, because they were both different in one sense. 2017, we've been waiting quite a while to get out of intermediate, and that chance actually finally came, and we'd won. And I suppose in 2019, we felt that we had a point to prove after losing out to Cavan blow at Aisling and the relegation battle. Yeah, so that was I suppose a sense of relief in 2019, definitely, to be back up in senior ranks, because we just felt that we belonged there at the time, and we really wanted that year, that was our goal, and to reach that was exceptional, so no, they were both very, very special. And I suppose having people around you and the supporters that we had, and the way Leeds football has grown, and to have the crowds that were there, over 50,000, even from the 2017 All-Ireland, it was another jump up in people attending games. So it was great, and it's great to see Leeds football growing so fast, and the popularity of it growing as well. I was saying to a lot of the young girls, and I was going around to different camps and medal presentations, whatever, that I'd love to be in their age again, because I just think Leeds football is going to really, really be on the up in the next couple of years, and they'll get the coverage that they deserve to get, and with regards to the main counterparts. So it's great for them. And yeah, as you said, back to the difference between both, and there was none really. Any day that you can climb the steps of the open stand and lift an All-Ireland Cup is a great day. So there's not too many, you can't put that into words, and you wouldn't refuse it either. So both of them were just as special as each other. And I suppose in 2019, my brother Stephen came home from surprised me, came home from Boston, hadn't a clue, and literally I was seeing things right in front of me. I just about to lift a cup, and this tall head popped up. I was like, geez, I'm seeing things. Is this actually happening? But no, he was after from Boston that morning, rocked on in, no one told me. Because he just moved over there in 2017 and missed that All-Ireland final. So he flew over 2 nights, got the All-Ireland final in, and the night after I flew back to Boston again, for college. So I suppose that was special in one sense too. But I know, as I said, all of them are as special as each other when you get to win All-Ireland Croke Park.
I'd say he was a bit fresher flying over than he was coming on the way back. Samantha, you mentioned the wedding plans were thrown into absolute chaos. You still haven't got around to you talk about walking up the steps of the Hogan stand. There's another walk that you have to make as well, and that's up the aisle. What's the latest? What's the latest on all those plans?
You tell me, Jackie, because I don't know. Ask Griffith there. Yeah, I don't know. After I planned it again for February. Sure, we thought we were going well there now. For February, but no, that won't happen now either. So then we rebooked it there for September, and we could be that smidgen a bit too soon, so we just don't know. Sure, look, no one knows, so we're not going to panic. I'm after panicking too much in the last week or two, so we won't panic. We'll put that aside for a while and we'll just see how the cookie crumbles. Isn't that it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we can't do much planning these days, unfortunately. Ash, how are things with you back home in Cavan? You're with the local sports partnership there. How is work going, and how is, and I mean, I've asked a couple of people recently, just a very simple question: how are you through all this madness that we're living through? Because I think for the vast majority of us, there are challenges on a daily basis, whether it be family, work, whatever it is. It's not simple getting through this, Ash. So how are things with you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like I'm lucky enough, we're working obviously from home. But this one's a lot tougher now. I'm finding
It
this
is.
lockdown. I don't know. I think everyone is finding it the same. But there's my line of work, with sports partnership. We're trying to increase participation. So usually January, everyone's gun ho to get fit, get out, get exercise, and try new things. And just not able to do it. So it's all virtual, and people are sick of virtual by the time they're working and zooming all day, and kids homeschooling kids, and they just don't want to. And then I suppose with it being so dark as well, like you're finished work, it's dark when you're getting up and it's dark when you're finishing, and it's I suppose mentally it's tough, but and then you're trying to motivate people like within work to try and get them active, and it's
Yeah.
it's a tough sell. I
I
would
think
say,
I think you've nailed it, because do you remember the first lockdown? There was lovely weather and everything, and it was such a kind of a novelty, like that we were all, oh hey, this is
yeah.
great, and it'll only last a few weeks, and we'll be all delighted with ourselves. But the more it goes on, it's such a grind, and you've hit the nail on the head. It's dark, it's wet, it's damp, it's bloody all of that, you know.
I know, but I know. Good. I think once everyone's well, I think that's
Yeah.
important. And I have like my parents nearby, like my brothers and sisters. They're all one's in Edinburgh and the rest are in Dublin, so I haven't seen them in so long. So it's tough for my parents as well. I get the brunt of it at home.
How
But no,
many's in your
it's
family?
good.
How many's in the family, Ashley?
Five,
Okay.
three boys, two girls. So we've one brother is in Edinburgh, so we haven't seen him in a long time, and he has the first grandchild. It's a big
Oh,
deal. So he hasn't been home. So he's nearly two now. So we haven't seen him in nearly a year. So it's
oh.
really tough on mum and dad. But look, I suppose with technology and everything too, it's good. Like you can be FaceTiming and Zooming and all that, and he knows them straight away. Like those kind of things, the personal connection, I think that's really important for people, and
Yeah.
not social. But I think that's why it's more important to just pick up the phone, have a chat with people, get out for a walk, put on, doesn't matter the weather, put on a jacket,
Yeah, for sure.
just get out and clear your head. Like,
Yeah, walk or run every day, Samantha, I think is vital, isn't it? It's just to get us through this. How's everyone in your family dealing with everything, Samantha? Everyone okay?
oh yeah, Grant Stephen's still over in America, so he didn't actually get to come home for Christmas. So he hasn't been home in a year. Yeah, a year since Christmas. He was last home for Christmas. That's tough on him, like 'cause he's over there on his own because he's line of work. I suppose he's working for an Irish company over there. So a lot of it's just his visa that he's on. He went from work from being in Tufts University over in Boston so he's still on kind of a student visa, so he couldn't get home where everyone else in his house could come home. So he actually had Christmas dinner for one there Christmas Day, but I know he's grinding. Sure, mom and dad are grinding. I'm keeping him busy. No matter, we're still trying to build a house inside. I'd say dad will go in and try build it one man band inside here if the lockdown doesn't stop soon because he's ready to. Over the last number of weeks, and I was trying to decide. I don't know how I didn't end up between this and online teaching. I say I was going to be homeless soon, but I know they're great to me and they've been great support. Like, but I know it's grand. Sure, like once you find your routine, I think get the online teaching. It's just about a matter of finding your routine and getting up at the same time every day and going to bed early. I'm a great person for the hours of sleep, like, and I need my sleep or someone's going to pay, like, but no, I just getting as Aisling said, getting out for a bit of exercise as well, like, in the air, throwing an old jacket, we would be moaning and groaning about the weather, like, for sure. What can you do? Only bring an old umbrella and off you go. The fresh air is important. Like, I can't deal with the old sitting down all day, like, so in between
Same,
classes,
yeah.
I'm here doing a few steps around the house. neighbours think I'm gone crack, like, you know, I'd be passing their windows, I'd say, every half an hour, like, you know, I'd say, what is this one I know again? And the dog's legs are about, I'd say, 10 centimetres shorter now from all the walking. She's getting broad on, but sure, look, I know it's all good, and I suppose, like, it's hard on people, but I suppose you have to see the good side in every day too.
Absolutely, guys. The two of you had some fair battles down through the years on the field of play. Cavan and Tip. There was a nice rivalry there. One of you want to take that, Aisling?
Got lots of running into her anyway. Too easy getting around her. No. Yeah, I know. Which is a great battle, like centre back, centre forward. Sure. There was lots of dints and hits, but sure, we gave as good as we got and enjoyed it. Well, obviously not at the time, but no, it's great. It's like, you know, it's good to have a bit of rivalry, like, you know, Tipperary, even Waterford, you know, through the years, Westmeath, like those very teams were all very close to each other and had some great battles, like in between the league and the championship.
Yeah.
Like I think in the space of maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, we must have been playing each other at least 2 or 3 times a year, Samantha, like between different areas. So, and it all seemed to be nearly marking each other. And, you know, sometimes one got the better over the other, and which always was, I suppose, centre back and centre forward is such a key role. Like if you can get on top of that, and especially Samantha being the captain as well, like she was just a strong figure in the Tipperary team, that like if it was very, very hard, but to try and, you know, take her out of the game, even saying that as a centre forward to a centre back, like trying to nullify her going up on the attack.
You sold me more dummies, do you?
I was going to ask the question: did you ever get caught by the dummy, Samantha?
Yeah,
Samantha says plenty of times.
Too many times to mention now, Jackie, and mortified here. She sold a whole heap of them there. To me, she's a serious woman for selling the dummies, all right. Like, but I know the great battle is was 2013 All-Ireland final in Croke Park. Is one that stands out to me. Of course, it stands out to me because we were the ones that lost. Like, but that was a great battle, and it was the same with the Division 2 league final as well, and then the relegation battle too. Like, so no, we've had our fair few matches up against each other and chasing each other around the field. So.
Aisling, was that 2013 final very special for you to win that All-Ireland title, considering you'd captained a team that had lost the final? It must have meant so much to that moment of redemption, not only for yourself but for the team.
Yeah, huge. And I actually spoke in an interview earlier this week about that. Like, and, you know, coming from, we actually, 2011, we drew, and then obviously we lost the replay. So it was really tough. Like, I found 2012 like the hardest year ever to go back after that. So it did take us to 2013 to get back up where we felt we deserved, and came up against a very, very strong Tipperary team. And I think just after the final whistle, I couldn't even tell you much about the game. Like, I know just towards the end and the penalty and that, but I just remember the whistle going and just sheer relief, you know, that we'd gotten over the line. Obviously, like celebrations after that, but just at the whistle, you know, it was just a sense of relief. It wasn't just complete like elevation or that. Like, and I was just saying, comparing it to somebody, you've talked to people who've done marathons, and you know they're waiting for this massive buzz or thing to hit you, and then they cross the line. They're like, right, okay. And for me, that's what the All-Ireland was. Now, obviously, you know, the trophy presentation and afterwards, you know, then the buzz came into it. But just, I think, straight after the whistle, just thinking, oh, thank God we got over the line. And, you know, it was great. And especially going up the steps, all I can remember is seeing past players in the stand, which I thought was like, because they were the people that really got us to that stage. Like, and I kind of feel bad in a way for them, because they'd planted that foundation for us to go on and win. Like, even girls that had maybe just retired a year or two beforehand, standing nearly crying behind the box, but like, they were a huge part of it as well, even though they weren't, you know, part of the team. So I think that was nice for those girls and those players as well, that, you know, they had played a part in Cavan ladies winning an All-Ireland.
Was that the biggest challenge you had to face, Aisling, coming back in 2012? And I get the sense that might have been the most challenging year of your career, trying to get motivated again, trying to rinse what had happened the previous year out of your system. Was that the toughest year for you, 2012?
Yeah, I think so, especially like when the All-Ireland, it goes on to, you know, the end of September, and it's you're very quickly back into the season, ladies football. So like January, so you're probably back pre-season training, November, December. So there was a very, we didn't have much time we were literally back into it. And I just find it very hard. Now, in fairness, we got over it pretty quickly because you had to get back and focus. And I wouldn't be one for dwelling on things, but I just found 2012 was very hard. I don't know whether it was because I was captain. You also take a little bit of extra pressure, I think, when you're captain, like even though nobody else does, but you put it on yourself.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really difficult to pick myself up now in 2012, and then as the season went on, obviously, it was better. But 2013 was a great year. Like we had a great run the whole way through, and then going on as well into senior was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Samantha, I don't want to dwell on it, but can I just ask you, when you look back now, and it was a part of your career, being omitted for a spell and coming back onto the setup and to go on then and achieve what you did achieve after that, how satisfying was that when you were deemed surplus to requirements, but then got back in and went on to do so well again? How satisfying was it?
Yeah, it was. I suppose, look, I used that time to kind of get myself ready for when there would be a time that I get a call back into the tip team. So I didn't I knew there was going to be another opportunity for me to put on the blue and gold jersey. So
did you honestly feel that? Yeah, that you would get that chance again? Okay.
Yeah. So I knew there was going to be a time it wasn't going to last forever. Well, I was hoping. But you have to kind of live in that hope as well, because it was such a love for me, like playing for my county. So I suppose during that time I actually went off and did a gym instructor and personal training course up in Dublin, and I kind of put my spare time into that, and I needed something to fill my time because, as Ashley would know, and anyone playing ladies football know, like it takes a lot of commitment, and a lot of time. So I needed something to fill that time, and I suppose that's what I decided to do. And that year I moved clubs as well. I moved up to Nafina to play senior football as well. I suppose at that time I'm playing junior football, and I wanted to kind of keep up the standard of county football, and I felt that was a good move for me at the time. I was living up there as well. But I know it was great, and it was great to get back in with the girls and to push Tipperary Ladies on another bit and to progress like we have. We've come from Division 3, winning Division 3, Division 2, and we're up competing very well in Division 1 as well. And same again, we were in intermediate, and I suppose, look, we had our shaky year there in 2018. Was fortunate to even be in the relegation battles, but such is life. And look, we learned from our mistakes, and we did in 2019. We came up and back up senior competing last year, and we had a great year last year. We played Galway All-Ireland finalists, from the previous year, and Monaghan as well, who are a serious county.
Very unlucky, losing both games by just a point.
Yeah, sure. Look, I suppose that's what you get when you're up in senior. It's the small little things that count at the end of the day, and we just didn't take our chances in different things. But it's a young panel, and they'll learn from that, and they'll bring on those experiences with them, and I think they'll grow a lot from it. And it's from those type of matches and playing the caliber of players that you do meet up in senior is where you grow most as a player. And that's what I've always wanted to do, is play against the best, because it's only going to bring out the best in yourself, and that's the experience that you want to get. It's playing the top teams in the country and the top players in those teams.
Samantha, how is life teaching for you at the moment? Because we've Jack here, and we're learning about the great new world of jolly phonics, and you could term it another way sometimes. There might be a little bit of rhyme in there. It's an interesting experience, the homeschooling thing for teachers. I mean, Jack would say, "Oh, I miss my friends," and it's what can you say to the child? You just say, "Look, hopefully you'll all be back together soon." I'm sure as teachers and at that human level, you miss that interaction, that real interaction with the kids as well, Samantha.
Yeah, God, yeah. And I suppose even in the interaction with the other staff too, we've been in pods now since we went back to school, so you're only actually meeting maybe one or two other teachers. We've all been divided up, So it's hard that way as well because you're not talking to anyone for the whole day. I come home and the 2 ears are burnt off mom and dad. Like by the time I'm actually going to bed, they're nearly saying you ever go to bed. They can't stop talking. But no, like that. Like as I said, we're after getting into the routine of online teaching again. The students have been absolutely brilliant. Like it is so hard on them, and the amount of screen time as well is tough, and any opportunity that I can give them to get out and get exercise, and I do give to them because I just on the screen, I suppose, from 10 to 9 in the morning to 4:15 in the evening, and even more after that if they have homework or extra bits of work to do. I think that's very hard on them, and I even find it myself. It's very hard for someone that's not used to sitting down and looking at the screen all day. It's tough, like, and I need breaks, never mind say them, and they're probably going from being on the screen as well to playing PlayStation or being on their phones and all that. So it is good. We're doing as best we can, and I suppose so are the students. They've been absolutely phenomenal, and they are working hard and working to the best that they can do. Like, it is so different. And like you were saying, like, they miss the interaction and we miss the interaction with them. And I suppose it's not the same, but at the same time, everyone has to kind of adapt. And I think they are adapting, all students around the country. It is hard because everything's changing from one day to the next. And I'm no techno savvy kind of person for the computer and stuff, but every day is a school day and I'm learning just as much as they're learning about how to do screen share and all this kind of larky. I'd say you'd be laughing at me the other side of the computer because I'm like, is this working now? But, I know, look, everyone has to be patient with one another. Like, it is tough on everyone, and we just have to get through together, and hopefully we'll be back in the school setting. But even since September, I suppose it has been a different kind of environment anyway. Like, with the tables being separated and 2 meters apart and all that, and different break times and stuff. So it hasn't been the same, but hopefully we'll be back to being normal and some way normal soon.
Absolutely. Aisling, I'm conscious of time, and I could chat to you two all day anyway, right? But we'll put some kind of cap on it. You'll keep playing with the club, Ash. Or how are you fitness wise? Are you okay now following that injury last year, or are you still kind of trying to work back to peak?
Well, whatever was peak for me, fitness. No, I know I'm actually really good. Yeah, the lads, I have to say, like, the lads were brilliant. Like, I was back up with the surgeon, and he was really happy with me. Like, he was actually giving me the go ahead to go back to county, but obviously,
How did you get back in 12 weeks? That's quick.
Well, in fairness, the surgeon was excellent. Like, he literally just put a wire into the ankle, and he was like, that you should, like, just push it. So, like,
right.
In fairness, like Samantha said, like, if you're training with county, you're training, 3 nights collectively, probably another 2 in the gym. So I was used to doing training, and I would like to be pushed. And so I was like, right, give me, what do I need to be doing? What do I have to do? I want to target, even if it's like, being able to just, stand up or rotate your ankle, or what do I need to be doing this week, next week, 10 days, and trying to, like, keep yourself going that way, because it's tough when you're injured as a player, like, because you want to be out there, you want to be on the field, but you have to try and tail yourself back and give yourself little goals instead of saying, right, I'm going to be running in 14 weeks. Well, actually, I can put my toe to the ground in 10 days or that. So, no, I just listened to the experts for once. The physio did what I was told, like a good girl, and just pushed myself. So I got back, and in fairness, the physio and the strength and conditioning coach, they were giving me straight line runs, twisting and turning. It was more the knee that was giving me more bother, because the ankle, once the wire went in, it stabilized everything. So it was just the knee joint, the ACL, and then just the knee down, like that twisting motion. Okay. And like, I'm fine running straight lines, but I suppose you won't really know until you go back into contact, and where you have to actually react to a situation, as opposed to there's a cone turning out.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been back into that contact. This was time will tell, but no, I'm feeling good, running, gymming, doing everything I should be. So, and it feels good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to the club. Please God, it'll be some change for me, but I'm looking forward to being back with them, and I'm sure they'd be like to have me as well, and maybe help out with some coaching as well.
Brilliant. Wish you well. Ash, final question for you. When you look back on that career that you had at Intercounty, and of course there was interprovincials and third level success as well. You had, across various grades, there was huge success achieved. What's the one moment you'll always treasure? If I was to put your neck on the chopping block, Ash, you have one moment that you can relive in that jersey. What would it be?
I think it's special being a captain for your county. Like, I think like Samantha's been very lucky to do it for such a long time, which just shows you the character that she is and the leader she is. But to bring, I think one moment for me would be leading Cavan ladies, their first All-Ireland in maybe 40, 50 years, onto Croke Park. Now, obviously, the result, we didn't get the result in, but it was really proud moment going up those steps and onto the pitch, leading a great bunch of girls out. And that for me was really special, being chosen like as their leader and being able to do that. I think that's, for me, was a highlight.
Brilliant. And Samantha, yourself?
Yeah, like Aisling said, I suppose it is very, very special and a privilege to be chosen as a captain. But I don't know, like, I suppose it's nearly, there's no real highlight. Like, it's the memories and the friendships that you make along the way that nearly are more important than any medal that you'll make. Like, you've made lifelong friends and memories to look back on. Like, geez, the medals, they're there somewhere, like, do you know what I mean? But the memories are always there and the friends are always there, do you know? And I suppose that was kind of the hardest thing for me, stepping away. Like, I was stepping away from the girls. I know I was stepping away from football too, but it was the girls and the friendships that I've made that was making it such a hard decision. Like, but I suppose, look, those kind of friendships, they go on outside the field as well, like, and I know that they'll be there for me outside the field too. So knowing that, I was kind of like, yeah, no, this is okay. Like, but there's no real highlight. I'd say that, like, obviously winning the All-Irelands and being captain is unbelievable, and an honour to represent like such a fantastic bunch of girls when any of them could have been captain. Like, but it's kind of the friends and the memories that you have that kind of outshine any medal that I've won. And I know that sounds ridiculous to some people, but like, the girls mean so much to me, like, and their friendships are very, very special. So yeah.
And you'll always have them. You'll always have them, Samantha. Guys, it was absolutely brilliant talking to you. As I say, I could stay on all day, but it's been really nice catching up. And look, we'll always stay in touch. Samantha and Aisling, great chatting to you. So Samantha Lambert, I hate to say it, former Tipperary player now, and Aisling Doonan Maguire, former Cavan player. Great having you on, folks, and stay safe and stay well, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Okay.
Thanks, man. Thanks for you.